love for you. Do you think, boy? Yeah. All the homies that I ain't talked to in a while, I'ma send this one out for y'all. Know what I mean? Cause I ain't mad at you.
Good morning, my beautiful people. This is your girl Jada, and I have Tay, Ali, and Thomas, and we have a special guest co-host today. Her name is Miss Aisha, and we are gonna be bringing y'all some real good stuff today. Okay, we have some really juicy topics, and we also wanted to kind of remix the show today to kind of give y'all a feel of just really talking about stuff that you would be talking about with your friends in the car or sitting on the couch while y'all chilling. And we just really wanted to bring topics that were definitely something that could be combative that we could talk about, that we can see the versus sides of women's side and the man's side. So these are going to be a really good show today.
Before you get into that, I just want to say one thing. I just want to say to the cast, I apologize. I got caught up doing some other stuff and I overslept Saturday. So I made sure. Nah,
we was good.
No, I know y'all was good.
We gonna
but
be
it's not business professional. That's why I made sure that I changed my flight and came back early.
Appreciate it.
So I just want to apologize to y'all. I was trying to plan some other stuff and overslept, but I apologize.
It's cool.
Made them sacrifices, but let's go ahead and get into it.
Oh yeah, we got you. It's cool. Okay. So, first topic that we have for you today is, you know how Cardi B, City Girls, and also like a lot of Beyonce even have had people that write for them. And we really wanted to boil down on, is that okay now? Like, is ghostwriting acceptable? Like, is that okay for the listeners, for them not to be writing their music but singing it?
It is okay.
Is that because a lot of people are doing, Cardi B does, even Beyonce does
so
it.
This is what I would say. When it comes to ghostwriting, when it comes to that lane of pop music and all of that, it is accepted in that lane for them. But when we talk about hardcore rap and we're talking lyricism and all of that, and we're talking about like that Drake situation and all that, it's a no-go.
But my thing is, what about those people who like they want to write good music and they write good music, but they like, hey, I don't want to be a celebrity. So should we be deprived of that music?
So the problem with that is sometimes I get what you're saying, because let's use Quentin Miller for example.
Yeah.
Quentin Miller dropped tracks right after that, but he doesn't have the image, he doesn't have the voice. So I get that. It's also, you got to have certain packages and you got to be marketed. But however, the unwritten rules of hip hop and rap is you're supposed to be a poet. So that's like me writing a poem and then Thomas goes up there and perform my poem. That's not the same thing. But when it comes to
poem.
Stop it.
You know he's fucking up words, man. You know he's fucking up words.
Talking about palm trees and shit. Go ahead, bro.
let me stop chewing, guys. But
Tay gonna stop you.
But when it
We got a garbage can right there.
But when it comes to hip hop, like hardcore stuff like that, it's an art form, so you don't copyright somebody's art. Now, when it comes to like certain things like pop records and this, it's acceptable. It's been going on, you know what I mean?
You're
but
right.
let's not get it confused though. Ghostwriting been going on in hip hop.
Yeah.
Eazy-E never wrote any of his stuff.
Yeah,
I ain't know that.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube wrote everything. Dr. Dre never wrote any of his raps. Ice Cube wrote that.
Yeah, he wrote
And
most
then,
of
like,
NWA shit in general.
I mean, it's reached. I think that's interesting because it's reached as far as into
Yeah,
rapping
Diddy
as
definitely.
well
Yeah,
as
yeah,
R&B.
Yeah.
So if we
not to be.
talk about it, like I don't know how I would feel, because like I found out like a long time ago that Beyonce didn't write Irreplaceable, and then I found out that the majority of TLC songs wasn't written by TLC.
Neo and all
Neo
that.
wrote to the left. Yeah.
So I
But
mean,
Neo could have performed that same song.
He
and it
can't
would've been
perform
fine.
that.
Could've,
Beyonce.
but it wouldn't have been an anthem. It wouldn't have been.
Right,
an
it
anthem.
would not
It wouldn't have
To
been
the
an
left
anthem.
with Neo on there.
Nah, well, a woman, like, everything you own in the box, if a nigga saying everything you own in the box to the left,
You right,
like,
you right.
it ain't gonna have that same appeal to
But
it.
what
It ain't gonna be.
what I have noticed though that I do not like when it comes to ghostwriting is every time we have a female rapper who can spit bars because she is a woman, the first thing everybody will say is she didn't write. So the big person like Nicki don't write. Nicki writes
Majority
all
of her
her
stuff.
No, she writes her stuff.
really,
Nicki is
all of them.
I'm
You got mad when they said
No,
Meek Mill.
that's
Yes,
all
sir.
of
I'm not
them
gonna say
now.
the pop records, but when she's rapping, everybody used to be like, "Oh, Wayne got to be writing it," or she has to be sleeping.
She has to write majority of her songs.
Nah, that's a
I
fact.
can,
But
I can say
just
that,
I just
but
don't
not all
like
of
when
them.
her and Remy Ma and other people that actually spit that are women,
right.
we discredit them. And when I say we, men that are misogynistic in hip hop will discredit them because they're women and not giving them the same equal platform because they're women. So they'll be like, oh no, you didn't write it.
Yeah.
And
Hey, I got a question. Who y'all think better though, Nicki Minaj or Cardi, as far as like lyricists?
If it come to straight hardcore rap, I'm gonna always go Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
Nicki.
she a vet. Right now,
I got Cardi.
Right now,
I got
Cardi. Right
Cardi
now,
right
Cardi
now.
coming out with harder music. Right now.
She is.
It's because
Nicki- all of it.
Nicki is sounding repetitive. Like we've been.
Very.
If she calls somebody else her damn son again, like I'm like,
Whoever
God
behind
damn.
Cardi is who sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I mean, honestly,
And that's my
she's
big
not
thing.
writing. But see, that's the thing. We don't know if she's
We
not
do
what
know
she.
that.
We don't know what she's writing and what she isn't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think over the overall things is that we're just kind of getting tired of Nicki, and that's what it is. I don't think that this one's better than the other. I just think everybody's getting tired of her.
Cardi's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
She is. And then she's also
just better.
No. What
I
it is
wouldn't
too
say
is
that.
a lot of
I
people
wouldn't say
identify
that.
because she like that hood chick that everybody
Yeah.
know. Like if you don't feel like you act like Cardi, you at least know somebody like
Megan
Cardi.
Thee Stallion.
So you like
I know Megan
I
Thee
could
Stallion,
relate.
right?
Yeah.
She said comparing Cardi B to Nicki Minaj is like comparing Lil Pump to J. Cole.
So
That's
far off.
that's
Lil
a wrong
Pump
analogy.
write his shit and Lil
That's
Pump is
off.
trash.
I wouldn't use that analogy, but what I
Yeah,
will say
like-
about Cardi B, the reason Cardi B appeals to so many people is because even the average girl can look up to Cardi and relate to her
in some type of way.
in some type of form or fashion. Like Cardi will tell you straight up, I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the most articulate individual. I came from the strip clubs, but yo, I'm gonna talk to you in a manner that you understand. Nicki sometimes has an image of where Nicki wants to be the only one in the spotlight, and then she can come off very condescending and disrespectful, and she cries every time she don't get her way.
And that's what made
and that's
her.
what
Travis
made
Scott
it.
situation.
And
That-
honestly,
yeah.
I think she messed herself up when Cardi B came out, or when Remy Ma came out, because she kind of messed herself up in that situation where she made it a competition. She made it like
think
it
the
was
fans
like
did
that.
that.
The fans did that. The fans did that.
The fans did
But
that.
she,
did
but
that.
no, she did that.
do
That was
anything.
her.
Yeah.
She voiced a lot of her opinion when it came down to
Socially.
Remy Ma, and when it came down to
This
Cardi
effect
B,
on her
she
little,
voiced
what's her,
that.
I'm not even gonna shout her little station out on our little show.
Oh.
Right there.
Yeah, like on her radio show that she had.
Yeah, she
that
did
she
do
did
that.
a lot of talking.
But a lot of platforms that I watch when they would come to it, they'll just like how you just did that. Which one's better? That's how they always want to come in into
yeah,
that.
I'ma come in it like
and
that
so
every
my
time.
thing is, why I can't like both? Because it's
Yeah.
certain artists that I'm gonna
right.
listen to a certain
It's
time.
two
When I
different
went,
styles though.
that's what I'm saying. I can like them both. Like perfect
Yeah.
example. I can't really compare Tupac and Biggie. Their style
Yeah,
and
it's-
their methods is totally different. If you're going for lyricism and stuff like that and club big hits, I'm gonna
Biggie.
listen to Biggie.
Yep.
And storytelling, you're gonna listen
I'm
to
gonna listen to
Biggie.
Biggie. Now, if I want something that's gonna get me right up in the gym, if I want something that's
Or it's
gonna get
about
me
life.
inspired or
Yeah,
dig
Tupac.
deep inside, or I want to dedicate a song like we did earlier today,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use Tupac. So it's
Yeah.
the same thing. If I'm going to the club and I want to have a good time, I'm putting Cardi on.
Yeah.
If I want to ride around, but I want to talk them lyrics and be in the car rapping, you know what y'all be doing.
But
I don't
Cardi
think
been
that's
coming.
much
But Cardi been
diff-
coming with the lyrics though.
Cardi
That's
She been
that's
coming-
what like
that's
I
what
be
I
listening.
mean.
I'm not even
Like,
gonna
you
flex.
heard them
Like now
songs?
I've been listening to
Boy.
female artists. Like it's not nothing that's on my playlist. I listen to all the time. But I will give it a chance and I'll listen to some of the shit. I'll be
Yeah.
like,
Whoever
God
that
damn, that
ghostwriter
shit
is and step that game.
Hey,
up.
I mean,
they-
it might
they-
be a ghostwriter,
hey.
and that's cool. But I think that
Nicki
with
the
it,
ghostwriter.
Her delivery, she
it's
still
not no different. Like, okay, old
She
school
still gotta
Nicki,
perform
but
it.
old school Nicki didn't write like them. The Pink Friday, she didn't write a lot of them songs.
Really?
No,
Nah, because it was
she
kinda
did not
like
write
more
a
of a
lot of
little
Pink
pop.
Friday
It was a yes,
songs.
she
It was
did
a more
start.
pop thing,
that's what I
yeah,
said.
she
I
did a whole
mean-
pop
But
thing, yeah.
but then I just contradicted myself because then just like I said, you also had to be able to perform it and sell it.
And that's the
So
thing. And that's why Drake is
'Cause
such
I
a
can't-
phenomenon right
right,
now.
'cause
A lot
Drake-
of people he
people
give you an
hate on him for that.
experience. He gives you a
Drake has the ability to be a chameleonaire,
Yeah.
where a chameleon
Yeah.
where he's able to take.
Not a chameleon.
right.
Yeah, I said that's why I said chameleon. I was thinking of a rapper, but he has the ability to be a chameleon, whereas he can take what's popping at that time
Yeah.
and still do it better than you.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah.
why the Migos got popping. He hopped on that Bando song and did it better than them.
It was
That
that.
is
That
true.
is what did it.
You're right.
Nah, I think it was
You're
Versace,
right.
but
Well, yeah, it was the
It was
Versace.
Versace.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Versace.
that's what it was.
That's
That's
what it
what I was thinking the whole time you said it.
But I mean,
yeah.
I appreciate the fact that Offset or whoever is helping Cardi is helping her because it has. I
Yeah.
believe it's a man that's helping her. But I think that because she originally her first couple songs that she originally came out, but before Bodak Yellow was not good.
I know.
Okay? So
The videos.
We want-
Nah,
No,
the
the
one
guy-
that she
I
did
ain't
that
never
was far
seen them
before
before
Bodak Yellow
What
is
was
this
it?
song called Reds or something. Was she in the bathroom?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That
about.
shit was.
I ain't hear
That's
that
when I
one.
was listening.
I
I was
heard
like,
a
oh, she
lick
putting
or
out some.
something else.
She putting
Yeah.
out some fire right
So-
now. Like
That's because so that's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning, we know she was not that good. Like even when she was back
Progression.
on Love and Hip Hop,
Yeah.
them songs was
Yeah,
bad.
the only reason I was following her was because she was
But look
funny
who
as
her
hell.
manager was. He
But
was
somebody's helping her.
yeah, that's a fact.
She
Her whole
networking.
management team.
She just networking.
What
That's
was
all
the
she
little
doing.
dude that was on the dude that was on Love and Hip Hop?
Oh, DJ
she
Self or
was
something?
sleeping with.
DJ Self was her
yeah,
manager at the
Yes.
time when she first
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
yeah.
Now the imagery was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Lyrics.
Ass.
Yeah.
Ass.
But she fixed that.
Yeah.
And
At the
she
end
at
of
the
the day,
top
let's
right now.
She got
stay
with
forward
Offset?
and she
And
right
them
now. She,
lyrics was
oh,
good.
and to throw something else, Cardi B is just came out too that she's coming out with the first like an artist that's coming out with a vegan leather line for clothing.
Well,
she's
okay, girl.
I just seen that,
and
the
that's
other
what
day.
you need to hop
She's
on.
the
You
first
need to
one
be.
that's doing because that's a thing.
And
now.
so hold on. I'm gonna
girl.
tie it back into your first point. So are you discrediting Cardi, or are you not as big as a fan because she don't write her own shit? She's
Me?
still doing good music
That's
and all
a
of that,
but
but
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a purist
Bruh.
when it comes to hip hop. So I'm about
Why do
lyrics
you feel
and
like she's not
authenticity.
writing her own stuff though? She
Who?
just all she's
She's-
doing
who,
is
Cardi?
taking the Migos flow. Yeah.
She's not.
Cardi has said
nah,
it
it's a
before.
different flow. It's
Yeah,
a
she's-
different flow. It's a
She's
different
not
flow.
writing it. I
It's
don't
a-
think
it's
she
a
said
different
that
flow.
she admitted that
she's
she
speaking
doesn't
like
write
she the
everything.
Migos or she's speaking like she Cardi.
She's speaking like
But
she
look-
Cardi. I don't
But-
hear
but-
nobody
but-
else.
But look who she's managed by. She's managed by QC, the
QC,
label.
yeah.
Oh, so they're under the same.
Migos, that's
what
what
I'm
Migos.
saying.
She's not
Her
signed
husband's
to
a
them,
Migo.
but she's
What's
signed.
wrong
Oh,
with
she's
her?
not
Like
signed?
Migos.
Nah,
That's a
that's her
management
management
deal.
team.
So what she
Yeah.
signed to?
I can't
She
remember, bro.
She
but
signed
she's-
to
Canada.
fucking Atlantic or something like
Atlantic
that.
Records?
Atlantic or something.
Just like
yeah.
Meek Mill is signed to Atlantic, but his management is Rock
I
Nation.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I
so
thought
you-
she was
you
signed
can-
to the
Mm-mm,
same.
Mm-mm,
with
she
her.
wasn't signed to QC.
Yeah, so you can
Just
have
management.
a whole little different management team, but
Well, at
I'ma
the
go
end of the
with
day,
Nicki
she
before I
making
go
it
with
to the
Cardi.
Billboard 100, so she doing
She on
something
top
right.
right now.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
So we're gonna move on to our next topic. What we really wanted to boil down was on really failure and fears and what that means to us, an adolescent that's in college, that's really just now going into that period where a lot of us are starting to pay bills and then have to go through the college process of really trying to get good grades at the same time, and then on top of that, being able to trying to make our parents or our family proud of us and
Yeah.
what we're doing. And a lot of that really contributes to what our stress is today.
Yeah.
Like that's what I believe that at our age, that's what we define our stress as at, because that's the stuff that we're really dealing with. That's the stuff on top of everything else where when you're walking into the world for the first time without having anybody saying, oh, you do this or you do that, or really kind of micromanaging you, it opens you to a world of stress.
Yeah.
So I
want-
want to know how are we dealing with the stress that we are receiving, and like how do we deal with the times that we fail, because we fail a lot more than we probably would have if we had guidance around us. But that's normal because you're gonna make your own decision. You're gonna fail in yourself anyway.
Yeah.
But and how do you get past those fears? of failing?
I want to start because like this really struck something for me because I'm in the group chat with Aisha. So she sent a video, and I know a lot of people probably saw it, where it's like the dude was like, your 20s is when you're supposed to be taking risks, when you're supposed to be going out the country and starting this business at XYZ. And so she was just like, damn, are we on the right track? Like, and that shit had me even questioning, like, damn, I'm in college, like,
Was
am
that
I
a rich
wasting my
person
time?
that said that?
I don't
Rich and white?
know. I don't know.
His
He was
name
a,
Gary V.
Gary
Gary.
Vaynerchuk.
yeah, and so,
Oh, so
and
then
so
you
I was
got
like,
money.
I was like, damn, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I
I'ma get
wasting
to
my
that, 'cause
time?
his
And that
music-
shit was just like damn, like. But then I also had to realize, I was like, I'm in the right place because also you got to know, to start your business, you have to have some type of income. And right now, to have that base income, and also not just income, but your network is through college and through like different companies and stuff like that. And so it's cool to work. Not to say that that's gonna be your end goal, but like I had to like reassure myself, like you doing the right thing. You just gotta make this shit work for you and not get stuck.
Yeah, and then not follow on that same path, because like I honestly, like when it comes down to like I think that a lot of people, when it comes down, even I believe this when it came down to college, I thought that, okay, I'm going to college and I'm going to get this degree, then I'm going to go work for somebody.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that we have to use the tools that we learn in college to go work for somebody else or to benefit somebody else. Like I don't think that that's what it has to be. It doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes it can be like, I just want to get this so that I know what I'm doing when I want to go start my business.
Yeah.
Or-
And,
Exactly.
Like-
and also getting familiar with that language, that business
Yeah.
language, knowing what the fuck some things
wanna
mean.
know that
Because you
terminology.
start using, once you get into business, you start using terminology and you start using acronyms. You looking at stocks? What's the EPS? The
You need
earnings
to
per
know
share.
how to
what's
use
the
this software.
Yeah, what's your
How to use
ROI? What's your return on
Yeah.
investment? And
You
so
need to know what that
college,
is.
and that's one thing that really attracted me to the business field is I loved learning what the fuck this shit really
Yeah.
meant. Like
Hey, but-
return on investment and this, that, and the third.
So
Yeah.
as far as when we talking about failures and stuff like that and how we overcome it, when you do feel, I know you're saying you try not to get stuck,
Yeah.
You get stuck sometimes. We
Yeah,
all get
we
stuck
all
sometimes.
do.
So how do you deal with it? Like when you're stuck, who do you talk to, or like what's your process of like, all right, getting your head back straight, or like reassuring yourself? You feel what I'm saying?
You
I just know that every experience is a learning experience, and wherever you're supposed to end up in life, you're going to end up there no matter what.
Yeah.
So you have to have an end goal, and you have to have a plan, and that's just how I know. I just know whatever mistake I'm making today, it's a lesson out of it, and I have to learn from that mistakes and keep going, and that's what I do.
Because that's the point. If you didn't fail, then you wouldn't have anything to learn from. And
Exactly.
if that was the case, then everybody would really know everything.
So the biggest thing that I do, right, and it took me a minute to learn this, but stop looking at everybody else's life.
It's hard not to though.
It's
bro.
hard
But I
not
totally
to. It's hard to
get
tell.
that.
On
I get
social
that.
media now,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
it's hard as a
I'm
motherfucker.
gonna
not
answer
to.
your question.
I get that. It is
I'm
hard.
sorry, I'm
For
gonna answer your
real.
question. My sophomore year in college, I felt like, and it's kind of like what you said, you have so many people always forcing their ideology or ideas on you, their thoughts. Your parents want you to do this. Society tells you that, oh, you got to be like this. This Eurocentric society puts certain images on television. So
Yeah.
you feel like you got to be this. And so you're so caught up trying to be all of these things, and you get lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you got to do is don't look at nobody else. So one of the things I had to do was I literally got off the social media for an entire year. From 2017 to 2008, I didn't get back onto social media till last year. And it helped me clear my mind because I didn't have so much attacks from everywhere else as far as information. Then just like you said, what else I did is, and I say this almost every podcast, you gotta find things to where you see yourself in it. So I read books where I see myself in it. That's why I gave you that book, Monster Cody,
yeah.
because you can relate
Y'all
to
read
it.
that Monster Code. That's a good book.
The autobiography of an LA gangbanger.
Yeah.
The reason it resonated to me because he's talking about realities in which, and so I learned from people that walk through my life. Sometimes I can't learn from somebody that went to college or somebody.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might learn from the dude that was the wino. You know what I'm saying? Down
Yeah.
the
See,
corner.
they tell you to put yourself around people that you're trying to be like. You feel me?
Right, and that's what we was talking about the other week when I was saying, you know, when you outgrow certain people, you
Yeah.
gotta surround yourself around people. So, and one of the things I've learned too when it comes to failures and all of that is like I was afraid to talk to people about it, and I was like kind of I guess ashamed, and I looked
Yeah.
at failure as a negative thing. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's not failure. It's not a negative thing. It's just one way. You just learn one way of how something does not work to get it done.
Yeah.
All right, try it again. If you're passionate about
Yep.
what you really want to do, you're gonna make it. If you really want to do it, you just gotta work at it, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, but stay 10 toes down, bro, and just
10
push.
toes down, man.
And then I also think that you really spoke to me when you said that a lot of it has to do with comparing yourself.
Yeah.
Because like for me, I think that when I deal with failure, I immediately go to straight to that comparison to my sister and my brother.
Yeah.
Because they are, oh my goodness, like it's hard to like compete with that. And I
Yeah.
hate to say compete because it's not supposed to be a competition. But at the end of the day,
Got a brother
that
at
shows I got a
University of
brother
Florida.
at the University of Florida and a
Georgia
sister that's
Tech,
at Georgia Tech.
Spelman.
So you're gonna feel that
Yeah.
pressure to be somewhere
So
close
what
to what
did
they
you
are.
do to get your mind straight? Because I know that's a lot, and I.
Honestly, I if I'm being truthful, I sometimes still deal with it where I have moments where I don't know
That's
how to
real.
deal with
Yeah,
it.
that's real.
But then again, my best way of dealing with it is by just kind of going into myself and understanding that, like, okay, the stuff that I have done is good. It's not. It may not be at that level, but it's still amazing stuff that I can say that I have done. And I go into like just being able to appreciate the stuff that I have done, and then just say, okay, like I'm not Kayla, I'm not Trey, I'm not them. The God didn't
you're
birth
you.
me
Yeah.
for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I have to understand that a lot of times. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't go through it
Yeah.
because I do. But my best way of dealing with it is just by keep moving. I'm one of them type of people, when I start feeling like off or when I start feeling like stuff ain't going right, I just keep my mind busy.
Yeah.
I
And
also
that works
try to,
for me.
Talk to her about certain things that I do for myself. I really don't know how to handle like failures and all that type of thing, but I keep myself medium all the time. Like I learn how to keep myself humble. Like I'm not gonna let if I hear some good news right now, I'm not. Doing all that,
I told you
feel
that the
me?
other day. You're
If I
very
get low,
resilient.
I'm
bro.
not finna.
Oh, yeah,
cry
he
about
tells
it. I'm
me
not
not
doing
to
none of
let
that
my
stuff.
highs take
It could
me
be the
too
worst
high and my
thing that's
lows
happened
take
in
me
the
too
world. I
low.
not cry about it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's something that I learned in a lot of books. It says when you're in a situation, look at the realness of it. Don't try to. A lot of people try to run away from their problems or do things to keep them occupied. Or
Exactly.
I'll be honest, something that I was doing that is negative to get through things. Anybody know me? Know I smoke weed heavily, like probably 10
Continue.
blunts a day. Everybody know that if you really know me. So one of the things that I had to do was what I was doing. I was really clouding my judgment, and my mind wasn't where it was, and I was starting to become somebody else. So I'm at a point now where I had to cut myself off, and I did to where okay, now I'm only gonna smoke on the weekend. Now I'm doing it where I'm not smoking at all because it's like I gotta preserve my brain and I gotta be sober to do what I want. How can I make clear decisions if my brain isn't clear, my mind isn't clear?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And then a lot of times when I'm on Instagram, when we were talking about like how we're in school and stuff like that, and I start seeing people that's not in school that's just making all this
Yeah.
money. That's the same
Yeah.
age as me that I graduated with.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Because like, what am I doing something wrong? Because you like, I get that, but I didn't have to realize like this is Instagram and nobody shows the bad stuff on
Yeah.
Instagram. So
And
like,
some people just spoil in life. Like
Yeah.
some people are really
that
just
too,
spoiled all the way
but I
through
mean,
life.
it's people that we graduated with that ain't in school that's gonna making all this money off of boo-boo stuff.
but they found their passion. Everybody lands.
And
Yeah,
you're
they found their
right.
niche.
But it also breeds the question: am I going in the right direction, or is this something I'm supposed to be doing? Because it's people that I know, you know what I'm saying. So I get that question, and and a lot of times I'm kind of combative back and forth with myself with it. But I see where that confusion can happen and where
Yeah.
people can be like, why I gotta do this if she's over
Yeah.
here on Instagram showing me
Yeah.
all this money she
So-
making.
Exactly.
I wanted to bring this point up too because I'm very familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk. I've been following him for about 5-6 years now. Know his whole family history, and so I wanted to bring that up too because a lot of us, you're usually around people like-minded, right? And this is Atlanta, so we're around a lot of black people. It's a lot of black children or black young adults that are feeling like this because we don't come from the resources. Gary
Exactly.
V, his family, yes, he'll give you this whole sob story about him being an immigrant. But his family had a $1 million wine business. Now he did, his father had a wine business as an immigrant. He owned a local store in New Jersey. What Gary V did though, he learned how to market on YouTube and he transitioned that into marketing skills and he doubled his family business from a $1 million a year business to a $30 million a year business. 50? 60. All right, my bad. I ain't want to lowball him. That was probably a few years ago when I was studying him.
Yeah.
But the difference is he had those resources regardless. He come from an immigrant. Everybody got a 500-year head start, so you got to be realistic, bro. Guess what? We don't got that head start, bro.
Hell yeah.
So what I do now, as I look at it like this, I'm the first one. I'm the anchor. I'm the one that's going to carry that Ali flag. So now I'm not being selfish. I'm not thinking about me. Sometimes I'll be beat up. I want to quit school, but the reality of it is I'm thinking about my sisters, my brothers, how they look
your
up to
kids.
me. I'm looking at generational wealth. So if I quit now, if my ancestors were able to survive across the Middle Passage, if my ancestors were able to survive through slavery during Georgia, like I just found out my great-grandmother is still alive. She about to turn 90, born 1929. And she's still here. So she grew up.
It's your great grandma?
My great-grandmother, 1929, just turned 90. So she grew up during segregation, the Jim Crow era, and still here, and still has her sense. Why? Because they had a sense of self. So if
I
they
would have
can,
died back then. But
You
keep
don't know.
going.
We know you. We know. We know you gonna be the one.
Nah,
Yeah,
you need
but
a
like
little
back
more
to the
time,
point
you
is
need a
just
little
like
more time.
you gotta be.
Nah, I would have ran. Like,
You gotta be
every day.
selfless.
Boy, you
bro.
can't run
Every
that
day.
fast.
Nah, that-
Yeah, but it's just
Oh,
about being
gosh.
selfless, bro, and looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So that's what motivate me, bro. I want to buy my mama a house.
Oh God.
yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was having a problem when Tay asked me initially. I was like, damn, what do I do? But I realized like I don't think of it as that. But I was having a conversation with one of my homeboys who I interned with. He over at Morehouse, and so he was telling me like right now he doing investing in the real estate and stuff like that. And so I'm like, damn, this nigga showing me condos and bucket that he gutting out and doing different things. And like, I'm just like, damn, what the fuck am I doing? But I gotta realize also that that's not my path. And also like being in certain places and being in certain spaces, sometimes it puts you with a different network of people. So it may take me a little bit longer, and that's okay. But just
And
stick
remember
my
how
path.
old you are
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
forget
yeah.
how young we are because we
Yeah.
be thinking like,
I
oh, we
think
got the
so
soul
old.
world. Yeah.
I want to enjoy my money in my 20s,
So
though.
we
You
have
feel me?
time.
I don't want to be old and like, I finally got a drop top and I'm like 50 years old.
But also at 20, you
you're
wouldn't know what the
right.
fuck to do with that shit, and you probably would have crashed
Right.
it.
You
So you
right.
might have needed to wait until your late
time.
20s
So
or
I'll
your
tell
early
you
30s
this,
for your
bro.
drop top.
At 21
Playboy
years old, I had the drop top convertible 350Z, all of that. You know what I'm saying? That shit is materialistic, bro.
It still made you feel
That shit is a
better.
liability.
Bro,
Very
and
much
when,
so.
you know
Drops
I'm a
in
little
value
bit
as
older
soon as
than
you leave the
y'all.
lot.
So originally I was materialistic. I thought I was the man at 20 years old because I had a drop top convertible. I thought I was the man because I was sergeant in the army. Thought that was money. That ain't no money. And so I had to, like I said, I had to find myself. I was looking at other things to make me feel better. So looking at rappers and all of this, those guys are anomalies. Like, not trying to be funny, but those situations is different. You got to focus on you. And if materialistic things, if you think that's gonna be your happiness, I'm sorry, bro, because I still go through BS and I ain't had a lot of nice stuff. That ain't nothing, bro.
Yeah.
And then it all comes with time. Like my mom has always told me, if God wants you to have it, you gonna have it.
Right.
Like if it's for you, it's for you.
Yeah.
Like, and there's nothing that's gonna stop that stuff
God, I
from
need a
coming
drop
to
top.
you. Well, I ain't talking about no car.
I need a drop top.
I don't care about the car. I just want
I'm just saying, like,
a
if
good
it's for
stream of
you, you're
income.
gonna get it, and you have to realize that time don't mean nothing really when it come down to it. Like, we got so much time here, and we think that it's just that we're just like, oh, we're so close to the end, but we're not. Like, we have
That's another thing
years
that
and
brought
Not
up.
no auto,
years
bro. You
and
don't know when you're gonna
years.
die.
The 50 of
That's
law.
why we want it now.
But I mean, you don't know when you're gonna die. But at the same time, you can't rush, because when you rush stuff, a lot of times when you rush it, it goes away fast.
Nah,
Yeah.
but don't rush it. But what the 50 of law taught me was accept mortality. And when you accept mortality, you understand that everybody has a beginning, everybody has an ending. So at the end of the day, that's what the whole marathon is about. A marathon, you're still running. You're just not sprinting, bro.
Yeah.
So what it's saying is continue to always be fluid and always continue to be moving.
Yeah.
When you have a situation, don't sit there and dwell on it. I learned, like, it's just like back in the day when I used to get in fights and all of that. If you're from the streets, you know. It's within that little 0.5 second, 0.10 second. When a situation happen, that adrenaline kick in, the way your mind think is how you gonna have that outcome. So if I feel like I can't beat this dude, that's how I'm gonna come out. But in my mind, that's why we call it TTG. I'm like, I'm gonna turn up. And that's what you got to do with life. When you go through situations, use
Trying to go.
situations to motivate you to move forward. So when I have certain failures in life, I use that as a motivation to be like, all right, I got a little setback, but it ain't none. I'm going to come back hard. Pressure and stress bring the best out of me. And that's how you got to
Same.
start thinking.
Well, really, what I be doing, bro, is like I be thinking, if I get successful after everything that's gonna happen to me, bro, that's gonna be like the best life story ever.
So
bruh.
make your
I'm
story-
just
Well,
trying
stop
to
saying
you feel me?
if.
No,
Like, you can
start
make
making
that
that shit
happen.
happen.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
say if. Like, you the only
people
one that
tell
can
me all
control
the
over
time.
that.
They be like, Ali, what you doing in school? Oh, you want to be? I tell them what my degree is. They be like, oh, you want to be an attorney? I be like, no, I'm going to be an attorney.
Yeah, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period, bro. I don't care if it take me to be 40.
Amen. Okay. But we're going to move on to the next topic. So what we really want to boil down on is how women have evolved from the traditional expectation. And what I mean by this is pretty much how, like, women have pretty much boiled down to where it's come from, where we used to be this whole housewife, stay in the house, don't work, just take care of the kids, clean, cook, do all that. But now it's kind of transitioned into
The
where
workforce.
women have now become really almost completely independent. And how has that changed relationship? How does that change dating? How has that
I'ma answer that
changed
first.
being married? Like,
Yeah.
has that because it's become more and more women now are like, okay, no, you're not about to have me sitting at home taking care of no child. Like, are you gonna help me? This gonna be
I
a
think it's
50-50
pros
type
and
thing.
cons to it, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and start.
Like y'all remember Everybody Hates Chris? Like she was always mad at her nigga,
Yeah.
bro, and then going back to work like, my man got
Got
two jobs.
And she sit down.
But think of the type of arguments you had back then when it's like, all right, rent's on you, and if you
On
don't
one
have this
person.
rent, I'm mad as fuck at you, and everybody getting out the house. Like, just think of how the conversations,
pressure,
the type of
yeah.
arguments you would have back
On
then.
men.
So I feel like it's definitely better having a woman that's like willing to go out, and she's not thinking, oh, I'm not supposed to be going out and making money. I'm not supposed to be buying this type of stuff. It's better to have women like that than it is to have a woman that's just gonna sit back and blame everything on you, or just look at you like you supposed to be the alpha
Taking
all the
care of
time.
me.
You
But
feel me?
one thing I think we have to do better at as like guys is realizing that with this transition, you can't still have those same traditional expectations
Women
when
need
they
to
come
realize it
home.
too, though.
Yeah.
No.
That's
I'm talking about like, so it's hard for a woman working a full-time job just like you, and then to come home
Yeah,
and
it's
have
called
to
the- it's
cook
called
and
the
clean
second shift.
and do all of that. Yeah.
And
So
bathe
I think
kids
we
and
just got to
homework.
do better at like spreading the
Yeah, I
goddamn
agree.
responsibility, because I feel like a lot of times a lot of women be like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
end up depressed. Like my mom have clients and stuff like that where she tell me like they work, go home, clean the whole damn house, make dinner, had the kids in bed, and be dog fucking tired.
But
So
see,
I
I
think we
would've-
got to be cognizant of like we gotta split this responsibility.
I wouldn't
Sometimes
make my
need to-
wife do that though.
I
That's
know,
just
I know you
extra.
wouldn't, but a
it's-
lot of
it's-
people
it's
do.
automatically,
A lot of
but
people still
honestly,
have
I feel
that
like that's
mentality.
automatically what goes down when it comes down to when a man role and a woman role when it comes to a relationship. Like, it's almost like a girl just automatically just goes to doing that stuff after when they come
'Cause your
home, just
parents was
because
like
that's
that.
what we
Yeah,
are
'cause
taught
yeah.
to do. So
In
like,
some sense.
if I don't think it's done purposefully, I just
Yeah.
feel like if men just kind of sit there and do what they do what they do, you know,
Yeah.
take out trash, that's about it. But I
So-
think that comes down to what we have been taught traditionally in the home.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think that it's done purposefully at
No,
all.
no, no. I'm just saying we got to be cognizant.
yeah,
of
of that, because
Yeah.
I believe that, that definitely can happen.
So some people gonna get mad at me.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Some people gonna get mad at
Be the
me.
truth, man.
But I think it's dope that that we do where roles are changing. I think it's dope that women are able to go in the workforce and be able to express themselves in the work fields and bring so much art and be recognized for their contributions to society. However, when it comes to the black family, sometimes I think because of certain social economic issues, a lot of the women have been forced to have to step up into these situations as
Yeah.
far as where from childbirth or starting in elementary school, the black boy has been pushed towards prison. So it's called the prison pipeline.
Yeah.
And the woman, the girl, is pushed towards education. That is why the black woman is the most educated population in the world right now. She has more
I did
degrees.
not know that.
Look at her now. Look at our first
did not
lady.
know
She
that.
Michelle Obama. She
That
had
was
2 damn
So,
degrees from Harvard.
The
and Yale.
problem with that, what I have sometimes
Damn.
is when sometimes women get mad at black men and try to beat black men down, especially in Atlanta that are successful with master degrees and all of this. But you have to understand, in society, we're no longer in the same playing field. Women to be like, well, why you ain't able to get a bachelor's degree? Well, he got a felony when he was 17 or 16 because of the circumstances that he was pushed in. You don't come from that same lifestyle. So sometimes I think women, that's why Atlanta has one of the highest rate of black successful women that are not married. Because remember, kind of like how your sister was saying, she had to work on that.
Yeah, because I definitely think that is
Or
because
women
we're
are trying
so
to beat
women
a
are
man
so
down and
used
be
to
like,
being,
well, I got a degree, so I don't
Women
need you.
definitely do
Or
that.
Definitely.
or
Women definitely do that.
I raised these kids and I did this and this. So they're teaching their children to be independent sometimes. And sometimes it's like, I'm not telling a woman not to be independent, but what to depend on a man, but know how to depend on a man.
I
in a
like
relationship.
I definitely feel what you're saying, and I agree
Like,
with
let me
that.
be a man
because
sometimes.
I get that, but I think that when the roles change, not really more so change when they transitioned. I think that that's when it became so. Along with a woman becoming more independent, a woman also becomes independent in her mindset, and I think that when that goes along with it, I think that how it's hard for a woman to say, okay, how am I doing all this? And then on the other flip side, a woman still expects a man to be a man and to do all the stuff that the man should do, but the woman is acting more so in the man's position. So it's hard then that's when arguments come in between because.
Not to cut you off, go ahead and finish
No,
your
you're
thought.
fine. You're fine. But I was just basically saying that when it becomes an argument and it becomes a problem because the roles have changed and nobody really knows how to play that
So
role.
what I was about to say is the solution. I believe what my solution is to the problem is, and Mike gave me that idea. Mike said that Mike Kimball is one of our advisors and mentors at the Office of Black Student Achievement. But there is no set role of who is who.
You gotta set that
sometimes
within your relationship.
sometimes in certain situations. I might have to step up and fulfill certain roles, and sometimes the woman, and even in traditional aspects, if you look at it, that's how some things was. My father was the breadwinner; he brought the money in, but he wasn't the one organizing the bills and paying the bills. My mother was doing that. So sometimes when she's sick of sometimes you might have to step up and take care of certain things, and vice versa. But that problem with that independent thinking is, like what you were saying, it becomes detrimental in the relationship because there is no I in a relationship. When we become one,
Both
that's why
supposed to
you take each other last name and all that. It is a union. There is only one.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to separate that, and sometimes it becomes an egotistic thing where now the couples are competing with each other, and that's detrimental. Instead of trying to beat black men up because some of the circumstances they in. I understand, just like you're saying, we do need to do something of that, but help him too to build up. I'm not saying get you a dude that's just sleeping on the couch, but if he really striving to be better and
At
all
least
of
got a
that,
plan.
give him a chance,
Yeah.
bro. Every black man's not gonna have a master's degree. The higher you get in education, the more slimmer it gets.
You're right.
More higher I get in education, the less black men I see in my class. The more less men I see, period, in
You're
class.
right.
So just put a helping hand and understand that. And just like you said before, we need to, if you do got children and all of that, help out. And then when it comes to my mother, I started thinking about when we talked about that in the Black Man Dialogue. we expect sometimes for women to always be the strongest one.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
as with mothers, they take all our stuff, all our BS, they deal with their junk, and then I had to learn like I got to be more responsible with some of my emotions. I can't just expect my mother to drop down everything she doing and just pour it out on her.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be mindful.
And
of
that's
that.
true also, like when you said that women like, and that's the thing that I don't think people realize, that we are female and we are emotional, but we're expected to be strong.
Yeah.
And that is what also plays a role in that independence thing, is because we're not like when how we are is we keep a strong face. We have to cry in the room or something like that.
Yeah.
We're like that, and that's, it's different because the weight of whoever your significant other is, the weight of your family members, the weight of your friends, and all that gets put on one person, but you're still expected not to break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of times when a woman gets strong, along with that strongness, a wall gets built. And I think that what happens is that the independency goes into that as well. And then it's a lot of stuff like, because like a lot of women don't even start to realize, like I didn't even, when you said that, like I didn't realize that like when we grow up, like y'all, it is two different pathways that y'all can take, and ours is a lot easier than what y'all's is. And I never
Not gonna say it's easier because y'all
Yeah.
do,
You
y'all
still
deal
gotta-
with
you still gotta work
go
with that
through
damn
it, but a
degree.
lot of the
It's
stuff
just
that y'all go
different
through is very
realities.
different.
Look at
So-
the Central Park 5.
Yeah, that's
my
what I'm
reality
saying. Yeah,
every
so
day.
it's different. So like y'all have to deal with a lot of aspects outside of all
Yeah.
of the other stuff that we were dealing with in high school. So I definitely do get it more so now that like it's definitely tougher, and how it's hard. We have a lot of women have expectations that it's hard for them to get to, because if it wasn't leveled off. We aren't on the same playing field when we started this game. So how could you expect for somebody to be on the same level as you when they weren't? They didn't start out there.
And you got other places and certain when it comes to that, like other entities in society that is purposely targeting. And I don't think it's coincidence that black boys have been pushed to prison and black women are pushed towards education. I don't think it's a coincidence when you study the welfare and all of that, for a black woman to get welfare and all of that, the black man couldn't be in the household. I feel like the black family has always been under attack from the get-go. And I feel like one of the ways to break the black family was to change the roles of the black family. So now you don't got the man in the household. The woman has to raise the children and do everything and be independent and get these degrees. You don't have, you know what I'm saying, the boy doesn't have anybody to watch him, so he's out there getting and crying, or you don't have a man there to teach him how to handle his emotions, and so he picks up.
That's a big thing.
He picks
Yeah.
up traits.
That's a big
Let me
thing.
say it in a politically correct way. He handles emotions sometimes the way he sees the women around him handle emotions, rather than handle emotions like a man. And only not to knock women, I feel like a woman can raise a boy to be a functioning adult,
but not a man.
but not a man.
Yeah.
And
That's
only a
true.
man gonna teach me how to handle emotions, just like only a woman can teach
Yeah.
a woman how to handle emotions. And I think we need to look at deeper entities and stuff that's attacking us and realize we on the same team, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with, because I know some black men who not okay with their girl making more than them.
Yeah,
seen that.
I've
A lot of
heard
older
people
men.
literally say
I know
that.
older dudes. I'm not gonna
Like,
say
That
that.
is so
Yes.
ridiculous.
But it's
Yes.
how women act once they
Sometimes,
get
sometimes.
that.
It's that fear of that. It's that
No,
fear
no,
of
no,
that.
no,
It's
no,
that.
Yeah, it's the
It's
fear
Okay,
of that.
it can
Yeah.
be the fear of
'Cause you
that,
know
but
you're not
see,
gonna
here's
do that
but
to
that
her,
that
you
is
feel me?
that to me is extremely sexist, because a lot of women
Maybe how
a
he
lot
said
of
it.
women may have
think it's
made
just how you said it.
a lot of women may make more money than their male counterpart, but that's the same way otherwise. Like that it goes
So
way both
social
ways.
constructs, right?
Yes, like how
So-
could you feel that?
I'ma tell
that
you,
has
as
to do
a
with your
man-
ego as a
Exactly.
man. Like that ain't got nothing
That's
to do
what-
with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But what does social
Hold on,
with
just
the
to make it
social
clear,
construct?
I'm not.
Yeah, we
like,
know.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you feel
yeah.
me?
Oh, no.
You can make way more money than me. I do not care.
Yeah, but
I just want
that's
to be
a
rich.
social construct where society
can be
teaches
rich.
you already that black man can't show no emotions,
Yeah.
and that the black man is supposed to always be the provider no matter what. So that's what black men are taught. So when you taught as a man that you're supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the breadwinner, sometimes it is going to stroke
Yep.
your ego, and so that I only noticed that with older men, like
Yeah.
men in their
Yeah.
30s and 40s,
Same.
It was-
because
yeah.
their mentality and the generation is
It
different.
was back then that it would the man was making
I'm
more
be
money.
real with
Back
you.
then, yeah.
If my
it was.
shorty making more money than me, show me how to get the bag.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or I'm gonna
honestly,
support you and I'm gonna play my role.
Yeah, just be, yeah.
I'm not like Safari was
what
playing his
is the
role.
point?
He did.
Nobody
He
knew
did.
Safari was the boyfriend.
Nobody
I
knew.
feel
Yeah.
like
The
years
That boy
later.
brought a
Yeah.
slab of meat to the table, and that's all they needed. A slab. They was
You
like,
know
all right,
what?
I'm taking care of him.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is. Anyways,
Oh, the
okay.
bill.
Woo, this is gonna slide us into the the next topic, okay?
Say, what the hell, bro?
Do it again.
No, please do not. Oh my
That joint
gosh.
was all over Twitter. I'm like,
Bro,
I gotta block this nigga Safari.
hey, shut the fuck up, please.
We're going to slide
ahead.
into this next topic.
Please.
So,
He said, okay, let's keep going.
so double consciousness, that is something that we wanted to
WB the boys.
talk about when it
Yes.
comes down to pretty much how we have one way that we present ourselves around each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes down to us being around Caucasians or somebody
In
that
the-
we would consider to
outside
be
the culture.
outside of our
Or in
culture.
the corporate
In
field.
the corporate field or
yeah.
anything, we pretty much change up ourselves or change
Yeah.
up at least a little bit. Like, I'll give you an example of what I do. Sometimes, like, okay, let's say with my nails, I do it a lot of times with my nails. If I'm going to work or if I'm going to an internship or something, I cut them down small. Like they you don't see no length just because I
Yeah.
feel like they
Same
associate that
me.
with being
I
ghetto.
used to have a beard.
Or
I
even
work
with
in
my
corporate now.
hair when I go to work, like I don't put weave in my hair because I feel like that would be associated with me being ghetto, that long hair. So, but when I'm out and when I'm really doing what I want to do, I'm wearing my nails, I'm doing whatever I want to
Yeah.
do, and then because I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it definitely is a switch up, and I've always been that type of person with even with my mom or my dad and stuff. They always say, "Why you got them long nails?" Because but then I realized I don't care. My
Yeah.
talents have absolutely nothing to do with how I'm looking,
Yeah.
how I'm doing. The stuff that I can do ain't got nothing to do with how I look out.
Just
on
to
the
know you're
inside.
gonna have to sometimes accept the consequences that come with that.
And I understand
Yeah,
that, which is
yeah,
the
and
reason
that's the
why
biggest
I don't
thing you
want to
gotta-
work in corporate America because I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I have to change my appearance just to make it acceptable for you.
Yeah.
And that is one of the reasons why I probably won't go into corporate America. Not saying
I'm in
that I'm
corporate
not,
right
but
now,
it's just
and-
something that I'm not interested in because they want to. I feel like they want to change the blackness about you.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like.
I'm in corporate too. I'm an intern at IBM, and it's very different. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is chill, and it's majority white, but it's some black people in there.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with an intern. She's half white, half Asian, and we were just talking about colleges. And I said, yeah, I really wanted to go to an HBCU. She said, well, what is that? And I said, it's majority black college university. And she said, well, why would you want to go to college with all black people? And I'm looking at her like, I'm looking at her
Nah,
like,
that's the
really?
reality.
That-
of
and
it.
that's how they think.
Yeah, that's the reality. But I go to work and I have my nails. And I have
Yeah.
my weave, and I mean it's cool and it's chill. So I feel like it depends on the type of environment that you're in. I wouldn't speak on all corporate offices, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a double consciousness
I'm
because
gonna
I'm
speak on
always
mine a
thinking
little
like.
bit.
Like you're always
Yeah.
thinking like,
I'ma
okay,
be
so
a-
how are you thinking
Yeah.
about me when you see me? Because like that's
Yeah.
my thing. Like I've never wanted like for the outside my outside appearance for them to think that like that because automatically it gets for some reason because I won't tell y'all about work. Never mind. I just thought about that. That might not be good. But the place that I do work, I think that it's definitely a certain level of it's a majority white, it's
Yeah.
majority of that, and that is what that is. But a lot of times, like it's supposed to be dressed down. You can wear jeans and you can do all that stuff, but when it come down to your hair and how everybody else looking as black, and then the one thing about that I don't like is that the black individuals that are in that
Yo, you
situation,
in my head.
that aren't in there,
Yo, I was
they're saying you gotta cut your nails, you gotta do all
That's
this.
what I was just about to get in.
That-
So I work in
yeah.
corporate right now, right? I'm not gonna say where I work at, all right?
Yeah, don't say that.
Because they might fire my ass. I still work there full time.
You said good.
You're an intern.
You the guest host, so you good. You actually an employee.
I'm actually
Yeah.
an employee,
Like,
so
well,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
intern,
say
so we-
where I work at. But that's one of my pet peeves there. Like my actual direct manager is a black guy.
Yeah.
And let's say there be certain conflicts or certain things, he doesn't stick up for me. He won't side with me. He'll be more hard and attack me than anything. It's just kind of like living in Atlanta and having black cops who are tougher than on it. But that's another story. Another
That
thing
is true though, bro. Black cops. That's
We'll get
crazy.
into that later.
Yeah,
But
we'll
another
get
one of my
into that.
issues, like I do assimilate sometimes to fit in. Like I used to have a bigger beard.
Yeah.
I had to cut my beard. They're like. And I feel like I'm targeted a lot of the times because other people, like the white boys and all of that, like they supposed to have certain hair standards and all that. They do what the hell they want to do, but then let me do a certain thing or let me grow. Oh, Ali, do you have this and this and that? Or Ali, what's going on with this? And I'm like, you didn't say nothing when he was wearing jeans, and it says that I can wear jeans, but you want to be selective and like, oh, I didn't know that. Or a perfect example, if y'all didn't know, my first name is Joaquin. So one of the things I used to do to assimilate, I would change the spelling of it to make it easier for them. And then when they would find out my name, it was like sometimes they didn't even want to take the time to learn out my name. That's why I go by Ali, to make it easier for them in the corporate world. But it's like, if y'all are so intellectual and white people are so superior in their education and all of this, and you can name your kids Leonidas and all of this and Maximus Aurelius.
That sounds like a disease.
No, these are Latin European names. Maximus, Aurelius, all of that. But you can't learn Joaquin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What's
saying?
wrong with Jake?
Y'all are
I mean,
so
at the
intelligent,
same-
but no, what it is they don't want to embrace I have an African name, Joaquin Shahid Ali El. You see my name, you know what it is. It's black. I'm a black male. I have an Islamic name, and it's African. I'm a target in there, bro, and I don't feel comfortable in there. And there's no place I can go, even when it comes to other black people to talk about certain issues. I can't talk to them because they look at me like I'm not one of you. I'm them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how, and that's the stuff that I
That's
see.
wrong with our
Yeah.
society right now, we don't really have a culture.
Exactly. We don't have a culture in the corporate world.
Yeah, in the corporate world,
Really
yeah.
hard. It's really
I
hard.
feel
It's
I
coming
feel like
though.
I feel like it's definitely getting better because like the biggest thing where I found myself battling this was because I'm like when I'm like sending emails to different people and stuff like that. I have my signature, so I have all the orgs I'm in. So I've been in Black Student Alliance on campus since I got to college.
Shout out to
So-
OBSA.
shout out to OBSA and Black Student Alliance, man. So I have that in my signature every time I send an email, and sometimes I'll be sending it to like an accountant or somebody big in corporate, and I'll be like, damn, should I take this out of my signature, or are they gonna think I'm too like I'm gonna be there and be loud? And then I had to realize like I just gotta be me and do that shit better than anybody else.
And that's what it
realize,
is.
and also my mom wanted me like to cut my hair because she
I'm
was
about to
like,
say the same thing.
I'm going into corporate, and they like my mom and stepdad sat me down, was like, son, we love your hair, we want you to be you, but as parents we would be doing you a disservice if we did
If
not
we didn't
prepare
say
you for the
anything.
real
'Cause
world.
it was a different time.
And that's what my
Yeah, but it was a
Yeah.
different time, and
Changed
so
the times.
but I was telling my mom like she just starting to get it because for the first time I took my mom
mine is too.
to I took my mom to like I had like a little scholarship dinner or whatever, so it was a lot of like accountants and CPAs and stuff like that, and so like I like being the one with the dreads, and like you hear about
you
my
stand
GPA, you hear
out.
what I'm in, and you
'Cause they
like
don't think
damn,
that- yeah.
especially
And
when you
you
hear my name,
stand
I'm
out,
Thomas
too.
Jones.
Yeah.
Before a lot of people assume I'm white when they first see my name on paper
Thomas
and see
Jones,
my
yeah.
stuff like that, and so for me to come out, I love coming out and be like, I got the long dreads down my back, like I'm a big dude, big black dude, and you wouldn't expect that. And my mom, like for the first time, like we were sitting at dinners and people would ask her like, what do you do? Like, where do you live? Like, and she like, her and my step, they're like, and you can see because they always have
Yes.
these preconceived notions. So for them to see me come in there like with a 3-point whatever, and I'm coming and getting scholarships and I'm involved in this, that, and the third, people be like, and that night I talked to her and she was like, son, you know what? I remember when you talked to me about that, and I see it now. She was like, I definitely see it, and I love your hair, like, and I want you to continue being out there because it's breaking barriers and it's breaking these connotations they have of black people in general. So
Yeah.
You a different type of dread.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about one more thing about double consciousness sometimes that bothers me. Because with double consciousness, if you don't understand, that's where you have two identities, especially as one being African American, right? You have your African side or your African cultural side that you try to embrace, but then you're in a Eurocentric society. So that when you try to embrace your African roots, the Eurocentric side tries to attack you. Now, what happens is some of the times I feel like people try to assimilate so much because of double consciousness. What happens is they're in African bodies, but got European mindsets. And what I realized is those are the people at those corporate jobs. Those are those people that look like us, but really not us. So that's something that I had to learn. Just because somebody look like me, don't mean they're me. Up here, they don't think
Facts.
black.
Do you have
And
a
that's
problem?
definitely. Oh,
Do you have
sorry.
a problem with like? Because I know my brother, he named his. Basically, when they had their first child, it was a boy. So if it was a boy, the deal was like he get to pick the middle name, and then she gonna
I
pick
already
the
know
first
where you
name.
finna go
Then
with
if it's a
this.
daughter,
These
you pick-
names.
Yeah. So her idea was I don't want to name him anything ghetto or anything unique because I don't want him to like
Be
on job
discriminated,
applications and
yeah.
stuff like that. You feel me? I don't want it to affect him. So she named him Jason.
So I'll say this: I don't like that.
She fixed the spelling and everything too. Like,
And I'm gonna tell
a
you why
regular
I don't
Jason.
like that. It's because if we continuously to do that, right, then we'll never fix the problem. My parents told me, because, bro, my name is long as hell. Joaquin Shahid Ali El, bro.
A lot of
Like,
letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the first letter start with a J, so you know that throws people off.
Yeah.
Well, your name should be your most precious thing. That's you.
Right. So
Right.
in the African tradition, you name the child once the child is born, and you give them an attribute in which they can live up to. That is my culture. My parents said they didn't care about none of that. They wanted me to live up into my name. You don't see an Asian dude walking around here with the name Daquan. You don't see a white guy walking
They
around
be
here
Jake.
with the name Joaquin. They're still come over here and they're able to be their self. We got to be proud to be who we are.
You're right.
And so what I do
Ooh,
now
that is so
is
true.
what I do now is I'm not assimilating, bro. If you don't like what my name is and because my last name Ali El, that L represents a tribe out of Morocco. So that's my legacy. That's my lineage.
Yeah.
So if you can't accept my name, you can't accept my color or who I am, then I don't want to work here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work for a company that don't support us. And we do that a lot of times. We support companies and want to
that's what I'm
assimilate to
saying.
people who
Yeah.
do not support
Because
us.
I think
Stop doing that.
I think that what it comes down to is because I feel this all the time, and and it's hard for me because I'm supposed to be grateful for the opportunity that I have, and I'm supposed to be happy about it. But it's a lot of stuff that I don't like that goes within corporate America, and I've
Yeah.
I've had 3 internships, and it's happened unfortunately to me at every single one. And I feel like because a lot of times how I see people, I do a lot of like looking into their eyes and how they talking to me because
Yeah,
that'll
I-
really
I
tell
look
me
at
that'll tell
all
me
of
how you
that.
feel.
All of that.
And that I don't care
They
what
always
come out of
gonna
your
show.
mouth.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to look at you in
Yeah.
your face. I want to see. And a lot of times when I'm looking at people and I've seen how they looking at me, especially white males.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like it's
I don't even
almost
get
as
recognized.
if. It's almost as if like, oh, like why you here or you're not supposed to be here, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know, I can run circles around you back
Yeah.
and forth,
And
and
that-
you don't even know.
And that's my biggest thing too is I make sure that I stand out wherever I go so that you want me.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck how long my hair is. You don't give a fuck
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
look
that
like. And so
is.
that's my biggest thing. That's one of my biggest driving forces
Yeah.
is I'm gonna be me regardless. I'm gonna have Black Student Alliance in my signature. You're gonna see it, you're gonna
Yeah.
know it.
Just-
And
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
be
know where I
proud. I got
stand.
it in my
but,
signature.
but I'm gonna make sure when I get there, I'm gonna do the goddamn best job and I can do that shit just as good as everybody else.
And
in
that's
here.
really what it is. You
Or-
just
and
kind of
better.
got to give your
Yeah.
best and
It's
do
on
whatever
us.
is your best.
Yeah.
And don't
It's on us, yeah.
Don't
It's
do
on
no
us.
more. That's why I told my mom, I said, I'm done with the nails thing. I'm gonna wear my nails how I want to wear them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because I
We're
mean,
giving
there
them the
is
power.
such there is such the mind back 20 years ago, and I'm like, girl, corporate America has changed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. It has. You know, that's one thing I'm appreciative of. It has definitely.
It has
changed.
definitely changed. I just think that it's just some aspects. I mean, regardless, you're still gonna have people that want to be racist, unfortunately,
Yeah.
in corporate America. But just do how you do, and you wherever is yours will be yours, regardless of what you wearing, what you look like, because that mind is something powerful, honey.
Hey.
But
Word.
moving on to the next one. What do girls really mean when they say that they want to be protected by their fellow black men?
I'm a
Yes.
man, so I'm not finna answer.
Yeah, I want y'all. I want y'all to delve into that. Like, tell us. No, and we're gonna establish they not talking about all women. They
But
talking
when
about
y'all do-
for in their
Yes, this is
to them.
personal
Yeah,
But when y'all
experience.
do,
Yeah.
be
Personal
prepared because
experience.
I'm gonna ask some questions.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
But I'm
So,
just-
yeah. So tell us. We're gonna start with Aisha.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, being protective, it's more of a security thing. When I'm with somebody, I need to be able, if my car break down, I need to be able to feel comfortable calling you. Look, I need help.
Right.
Be there. It's not necessarily about having somebody take care of you, buy you things, and be there 24/7. It's just
Why your question already? Can you finish? Can you let her finish?
I
Like-
just want to give context of what you're talking about. Are you talking about somebody, a black male that you're with, or are you talking about a black male that's just
We talking about in general, like, because I hear a lot on
Because,
Twitter
you
and
know, all
stuff.
my
They be
friends
like,
ain't gonna be able to pull up on
black,
me to do
Right.
that.
yeah, they be
You
like,
know,
black
like-
men need to protect black women, and a lot of times like men don't know what you mean by
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, are you talking about the boyfriend? Or are you talking about us as just black men as a
I'm talking about
total?
boyfriend, but
Okay.
if you want to talk about
In-
relationships or in
Honestly,
general.
well, I don't think general really.
It
Do you think
does.
general applies? Because I don't think no random black male should be changing my tire.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I mean,
no, I'm talking about in general to the aspect because I've had dialogue with women and a lot of people have been like, black men don't protect us. So they're
what we
talking
trying to
about in
figure out,
general,
like-
not
think-
on like a personal level, but just in
As a
general. They
general,
feel
like,
like
Oh, so you're
black
saying
men don't
That's why I raised
general
my
black-
hand.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That makes a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
more
Talking
yeah.
about
sense.
as
Yeah.
the entire whole.
Yeah.
What
But
can we
okay,
do
so
to
here's the
support
thing
y'all?
with that. When it comes down to just the general, if you're talking about in general, just protection
Yes.
from
Yeah.
all black men,
Yes.
I think that what it means is just that, regardless of kind of how stuff is, I think that what black women in general, we get attacked with a lot of stuff when it comes down to everything really.
Yeah.
But
Serena
I
Williams?
think that
Yeah.
I don't really like how when it comes when we are actually out, like I feel like a lot of men kind of y'all forget that protection part and y'all see the beauty in the body and the face and everything, protecting that.
Y'all are
And a lot of
beautiful.
times,
It's hard not to look.
we need to be
like,
protected mentally.
Yeah.
We need to be
Chocolate
protected,
factory.
like no. But listen, what I'm saying though, because I'm not. Is when it comes down to the mindset of things, I think of that as protection because a lot of stuff we get attacked verbally on social media. We get attacked throughout so many different things that I don't feel like black males actually have a voice in unless it got to do with a girl shaking her ass or showing a pretty face, and that's just what I think that protection
I
means
agree.
because I don't need somebody like I do need somebody to fight for me, but I got a brother, a boyfriend, and a daddy. They're gonna do that for me.
Yeah.
But I don't see when it comes down protection for mentally wise, like for my mind, like for me to know, okay, like there's a reason why women feel like they have to be strong.
Yeah.
Because we don't feel like we can bear it on nobody else besides ourselves or our girlfriends. So that's what I mean by mental protection.
I also feel like an issue that why that's an issue as well is for like I feel like black men are still playing the game that we was taught when we was in like middle school or how to play women and how to do this and make her feel like, oh, we're looking at you because you got less clothes on and stuff like that. But really we go back behind your back and call you a hoe and that type of shit. You feel me? And I feel like we put that out there.
Some.
Because I'm not in that mindset.
Because we done got older, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, some men still play that game. And as far as, I feel like we should work on protecting women, our black women, as far as that area, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't be trying to promote them to do certain things that we know we actually don't like
Yeah.
just for the attention. Go ahead.
One thing I realized too with the protection thing, I had a guy. He older than me, like my mentor. He was talking about how he went somewhere with his wife, and like I guess both his wife and the guy he was with, his friend, they both have light skinned wives with like curly hair, and so he was like, we did good. Then we could take our girls to go swimming, and so it was just like he was like it was a silence at the thing, at, like at the table. When he went back home with his wife, he was like, how did you feel about that? She was like, that made me really uncomfortable, and that made me trigger like. They click for me like that's what a lot of women mean like when they mean they want protection. So
I
like
want
when
you
you
to
hear
say
shit like that,
something when you
say
should say
something like
something.
that's don't do that because at the end of the day, your mama got the same hair that you talking shit about.
Right.
So like we gotta protect and not just think about those women, but think about our sisters and our mothers and things that
Yeah,
they
I
gotta
feel you
go
on
through
that.
because a lot of times the same dudes that be saying they don't want no dark skinned girls got a dark skinned mama and a
I don't
dark
care
skinned
what she
granddaddy.
look
Yeah.
So I just want to say
Grandmama,
one
so-
thing because we got a short on
Wrap
time.
it up
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
but one of the things that I learned as far as just growing up when my father and my mother was associated with the Nation of Islam is something that Malcolm X and the Nation was very big on. When you touch one of our women, you need to be prepared to die, bro.
Yeah.
But y'all are. That's the thing. If anybody touch us,
No,
y'all are. But
no,
it's-
hold on, let me just finish. But everybody don't have that mindset.
Yeah.
where,
Really?
bro? Listen, there's some weak ass men out here. But how I was raised, if you with me, you with me. Or if I see a black woman, period, even if I don't know her and she's been disrespected or whatever,
Yeah, we
she
gotta
is
step up.
you
We gotta
and you
do
are
better.
her.
Yeah.
You better be prepared to die because guess what? Those the white women and them white men stick together. Look at the Trump
do.
votes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all figure it
Yeah,
out.
definitely.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just when it comes down to protection, just to protect that woman mind, just like you would protect yours, because a lot of women feel like they can't bear that on anybody. But yeah. So we have reached upon the end of our show, y'all. This is your girl Jada, and you can follow me on Instagram at the real Jada Dean.
This your boy Tay. You can follow me on Instagram at _1 TAE_.
And this is Aisha Simmons. You can follow me on Instagram at Aisha Alani.
This your boy Thomas. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Thomas_Jones, the letter I and the letter V.
Joaquin Ali at Instagram. And before we leave, make sure y'all go to the page. We do have a network brunch coming up, so make sure y'all go
Yes,
check
I was
that
just about to mention that.
information
Yes, y'all. So make sure y'all go look at that show, buy those tickets. They'll be releasing actually on Monday. We'll have a lot of good people in there for y'all to network with, and we'll give y'all definitely more information about it. But this is the end of the show, so this is the Ville on Power 108.9.
Somebody help her when she went away.